Hello, hello! Okay, so I've decided I'm going to make this project with some devlogs. Now I've tried to do this a number of times in the past and it just has not worked out. Just hasn't worked out. I've just put off kind of making the devlogs. So I'm just going to jump into it without any planning because that's kind of how it should be, right? So this is my first attempt of kind of getting stuff to work. And I've never actually released a 3D game in Unity. I've messed around with a lot of 3D tools before. I've done some, lots of map editing in Unreal and stuff like that, and the Amnesia editor as well. I've forgotten the name of that engine, Frictional Games engine. Anyway, but yeah, this is the first 3D game I'll be looking to put out on itch, which is quite interesting. And yeah, so I'm trying to create this sort of suburban nighttime simulator. So kind of atmospheric, a little melancholic, a little depressing, but also kind of comfortable. And I've just been messing around with the Unity terrain tool to see if it does what I want it to do. And I think it does. I think it is essentially doing what I want it to do. So you can see here I have made the resolution really low, because I think very early on I figured out that if I've got smooth terrain, it's just not going to look how I want it to. So I kind of do want it to be this. It's quite in vogue now in terms of indie stuff, but I kind of want this like PS1 blocky kind of style because I think I can do that well. And it looks really evocative, and this is going to be a nostalgic project for me. Nostalgic is probably the wrong word to use actually, but like for me personally, I grew up in a suburban town, in the north of England, so quite depressing. So I am evoking a lot of themes and stuff from my childhood in a number of ways. So I think evoking PS1 like textures, I'm not just doing it for the sake of it. I think it does make sense. So yeah, this is what I've got so far. Got some very basic textures. If I switch to game here, you can tell it's made it very dark. Probably too much fog right now. I've got some grass texture, although the grass texture does not look good at all. It's too green. You can tell it's just been kind of darkened, so that needs to be made a bit more kind of bluey if I'm going to use this. But also I've just stolen these textures. I think I've legally stolen them, so I haven't technically stolen them. But yeah, so I want to take my own pictures and just create repeating textures from my own photography, because it's fun, really, and it adds, like a sort of unique element. So I want to do that. So another thing I've done here, which I've been messing around with, is you can see I've got two lights here. I've got they're both called point light, but let's change it, spotlight. So I've got two lights here, point light and a spotlight, and I've been kind of messing around with what kind of effect I want for having street lamps, because street lamps is going to be the major source of light in this dark environment. So I want to get the street lamps feeling really good, and I want them to have the orange sodium. I think it's sodium those lamps use. I think that's why they were orange, when now they're LEDs, so they're all white. Anyway, so I want that same kind of feel. So I've been messing around with having two lights at once. And I was thinking, I don't know if that's a good or a bad idea in terms of efficiency. Because of course, in terms of efficiency, it's not good. It'd be better just to have one light. But like I need to check with Unity basically how efficient these lights are. Because I think like with modern hardware and even cheap laptops having loads of RAM. I know the lighting isn't calculated on the RAM or anything. I was just using that as an example, but basically with modern hardware, I don't think running this game at a good FPS is going to be a problem because I'm not going to have a huge amount of lights on screen, and doubling the amount of that with a spotlight and a point light probably not going to make much of a difference. Let's be honest. But I don't know. I need to research that. But basically that's what I've got so far. And the next thing I'm going to focus on is making an actual street lamp out of just a few cuboids or something. So I've got that really nice, just that I can add some atmosphere. And then also I'm going to make a first-person controller, because right now I've just got a static camera. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to focus on next, and adios. Yes, I have recorded with a mic this time. That's good. Goodbye.